And hopefully, what you can just if you want to take any notes, anything that makes sense to you, jot it down. But I want to. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Good. Former Prescottonian. Because there's a lot of stuff that I'll share with you that I've learned over the years. Now, the Las Vegas church is a very cool church. It's a candlestick church, and what I mean by that, we don't have many in the fellowship, and candlestick churches are different. Candlestick churches are churches that lead the way. We have a handful, but we don't have a lot. And I remember when my best bro, I grew up with Tom Payne and Jeff Day, and I remember when Tom came to Las Vegas, and this was his first church. And I think it was only about 25 people. I don't know if anybody's still here from that time. Yeah, so you remember Thomas. And so we would talk a lot, and so, my best friend goes to Las Vegas and he's pioneering, and it was just, took over. But it meant a lot to me and no doubt to him too. And over the years, your pastors have been really good friends of mine. Pastor Dwayne Renz, Pastor Lamb, and I serve the Lord together with these guys. And so I've always had a high respect for the Vegas church, and then watch it grow and grow and grow and become a powerful work what it is today. So it's very cool. So you're part of something that's really unique. Okay, I want to use PowerPoints too, because that's going to help, okay? And so let's put that first slide up, you guys, if we could. Just that first one. Okay. Is there, go back one. That is a truth. I'll tell you that, and we'll emphasize that. Is there a drama team here that is ready to do a skit or whatever? Yes, no, or yes? Cool. All right, good deal. All right. Okay. All right. Because I want to get to that for sure. Okay, let me make a statement to you. The only thing worse, go to the next slide. The only thing worse than no drama is bad drama. Okay? Now remember that, okay? There's only one thing worse than no drama, and it's bad drama. I had a friend of mine when I was in our music scene. I have to refer to our music scene because that's the one I see all the time. But I was sitting watching a skit, watching a drama. And I had a friend of mine who plays in one of the bands. He's just watching too. And he just, at the end, he just leans back to me and just goes, "Lou, drama shouldn't hurt." You know what he was driving at, right? Okay. So there's a proverb, Proverb 12:24. That's a critical proverb. Pastor Greg, 7 years ago, came up to me. We were just talking, and he said, "Lou, you know what I want you to do? I want you to read the Proverbs every single day." I said, "Really?" He said, "No, I want you just make that part of your morning Bible every single day." And so 7 years ago, I started doing that, and to this day, I still do that. So you know how many times I've read the book of Proverbs? Over 7 years. But there's so much wisdom there. That's why he told me that. In Proverbs 12:24, it says, "The hand of the diligent shall rule." And I'm convinced that truth applies throughout life, and especially we can apply it in the world of theater, that the hand of the diligent is who rules. You'll see some that are really good and some that are okay and some that are bad. Well, the ones that are good, it's because they try. It's because they're diligent at what they're doing, and the hand of the diligent will rule. Now what I want to look at, I'm going to follow along with my PowerPoint here too. So, okay, I want to look at three things today. We're going to look at the team, the skit, and the play. And out of those three, there's a lot of stuff we can cover. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Okay, Bible truth 12:24. The hand of the diligent shall rule, and I think we can all agree that good acting and good directing is a developed talent. Okay, and notice I didn't say gift; it's a talent, man. And I'm sure there's giftings. I'm not discrediting that, but I'm telling you, man, you develop. That's how you get good. I played a lot of sports when I was growing up in high school. I played lacrosse, basketball, soccer, track. I swam with Tom. Tom was a good swimmer, by the way. He was a very good swimmer. I played a lot of hockey. That's what I played the most, was hockey. And you get good by practice. And that's the same with theater, man. You get good by practice. That's how you get good at what you're doing. Okay? Now let's talk about some things that can hurt. Now, when I started doing, put together a play called To the Rescue, it was a superhero play, and the reason I did that was because Pastor Greg asked me to, and I had no intentions on, because to me, the superheroes are fantasy. And I remember arguing with him. I said, Pastor Greg, man, they're not real. He goes, Lou, I'm telling you, do a superheroes play. It's hot, it's big, it'll work. It's like, all right, but I'm not going to write it about them. I'll write another storyline that will involve them. But anyway, over the course of time that we did that play, I think, I don't know, maybe a little more than a year and a half, maybe, we had over 200 people saved, about 230 people saved. So you can see a lot of people come to the Lord through productions and through theater, which is our gift to the church, man. And I'm not the best at anything I do, but I feel like my gift, my contribution is like I will do theater. I can do skits. Over the years, I've learned some things. I started doing when I first got in drama. We're going to go back some time now. I'm going to go back in time a little bit here. When I first got in, it was 1979. Yeah, which was only about 10 years ago, man. So it wasn't long ago. So I know I'm young. So over that time, man, I've learned a lot of stuff. I remember talking to Tom one day, and he got done preaching a sermon, and I said, man, you are dialed in, man. He's just really good at what he does. And he said, Lou, have you ever heard of the 10,000 hour rule? I said, no. He goes, there's a book out called the 10,000 hour rule that was referring to the Beatles, I guess, a lot. And he said, people get good at what they're doing after 10,000 hours. How do you like that? You got a long way to go, a long way to go. And so, but after a period of time, man, you start to learn some things. That's what's important. You have to learn. You're not good when you first start. You're just not good. That's the bottom line. Put a baseball bat in your hand when you're 4. You're not good, man. But you get good as you practice. And as you continue to try, you get better. Okay, drama is a risky business. Let's look at being careful. Let's go to the next slide. These are some of the things we got to be careful about, okay? If drama's to be good, we got to stop making the same mistakes, okay? Here's some of the mistakes that I see a lot, okay? Bad endings. I had a friend of mine who had a drama team in Prescott, was very good. He's one of my favorite actors, and I love acting. He's a great character actor. He's like Johnny Depp. But he was terrible at ending his skits. And I told him one time, I said, bro, you got to learn how to end your skits, man. You do this great skit, and you end it terribly. You have to learn. Endings are very, very important, man. You got to learn how to end a skit or a production. Bad acting or bad casting, bad ideas. If it's a bad idea, get rid of it, man. Lazy leaders. This is really bad. Leaders cannot be lazy, okay? Lazy actors. Poor lighting. And I see you guys have lights here. That's important, man. Lighting is important, man. I use isolated lighting all the time in all my productions. Bad use of background music. Be careful, don't overuse it, okay? Bad storyline. No storyline. Or no time spent to make it good, okay? Flip to the next one. Colossians 3:17 says, whatever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Jesus. And so everything we do, right, is for the glory of God. 1 Peter says, if anyone speaks, he should speak as one conveying the words of God. And I like Deuteronomy 12:7. Let me read that to you in the New Living Translation. There you and your families will feast in the presence of the Lord. Now this is a promise, man. Let this get in your spirit. There you and your families will feast in the presence of the Lord your God, and you will rejoice in all that you have accomplished because the Lord your God has blessed you. I expect the blessing of God, and so should you, man. This is a promise to the people of God, that God says you'll rejoice. You'll rejoice in the presence of the Lord your God and rejoice in all that you have done because the Lord has blessed you. That's a wonderful promise that God has given us and a blessing to the people of God. You don't labor alone, man. We labor with the Lord. We labor with His blessing, that invisible grace of God that works with us and works in tandem with us. All right, let's go to the next one. The three things we want to look at as a team: the skit and the play, okay? Like I said, we're going to plow through a lot of this stuff because I want to allot time frames to certain parts. Okay, so let's build the team, okay? So the first, let's talk about the leader, okay? Let's pound on the leader just a little bit here. He's got to put in more effort always, okay? Always. Okay, he's got to put in more effort always. Did I mention always? Always. Whenever I have a practice, doesn't matter if I'm doing Celebrate America, big production, 4th of July, I'm doing a haunted house, I'm doing a play, a musical, a skit, a rock, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, I'm there at least a half hour before everybody else because I want to get ready. And I want to know what I'm aiming at that night. I want to be ready for it. So I try and put in more effort than anybody else. I work at home, and my wife is a great support, great support. You know, I sit at my desk and work. Do you want some tea? Oh, that would be awesome. I'd love to have some tea, sweetie. And I'll write a scene, and then she loves the English language. And my daughter is an English teacher. And so I have built-in editors, which is really nice. And so I'll let them read a scene, and they read it. My wife reads it to see it. My daughter reads it to correct my grammar, which is great. And so I get all the punctuations correct, which is a great thing, right? That's a great thing, man. Okay, you must be organized. You must be prepared. You must pray. Very important, man. You need to pray. Okay? You must like the group. Notice that one, huh? You have to like the people that you're working with, man, okay? You must like the group, okay? Flow with the music scene. Listen, the drama team doesn't function apart or separate from the music scene. They're not like, okay, who's on right now? The band, yeah, I don't really like those guys anyway. As soon as they're done, we're on. We work together, man. We have to work together. And so what works best, man, is when we're all on the same page. And we all like each other, and we all get along, and we all work together. That's very important. You got to be supportive, and he's got to learn the power of Proverbs 19:20. Let's quote another proverb, okay? The New Living Translation says, "Get all the advice and instruction you can, so you'll be wise the rest of your life." Amplified Version says it simply this way: hear counsel, receive instruction, accept correction. Okay, you need to get good at this. Hear counsel, receive instruction, accept correction, so you may be wise in the time to come. That is very, very important. It might come from your pastor, it might come from a friend, it might come from the concert director. Hear counsel, receive instruction, accept correction, you may be wise in the time to come. That is God giving us good advice. Okay, let's look at the team. All right, let's look at the team. This is responsibilities that you have as part of the team, okay? First thing we do is assemble a manageable team, okay? That's the first thing we do. So, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but we had in Prescott, we had a drama team, and this drama leader was very new, and he assembled a team of about 17 people. That is way too big. I like the groan, because that's how I felt too. Oh, brother. You know why? Because most skits are like 4, 5, 6 people. What are you doing with the other 10? Then the next practice, it's about 3 people. What do you do with the other 14? Then the next week, you're going to cram a bunch of people on stage and have 12, then you got another 5. It's too big, man. I had a drama team one time that we called ourselves, this wasn't our official title, but we called ourselves 4 wops and a white guy. And the reason, that's because it was 4 Italians and then another guy was just a white guy. We called ourselves 4 wops and a white guy. And so we had no girls. It was just 5 of us in this drama team. And we cranked out stuff just with us. And if we needed a girl, we would ask a girl to help us out. But for the most part, we just did it. And I think that's a little bit probably too small. I would say probably 7, 8 is a good size drama team. If you get too big, man, it's unmanageable. You don't want to get too big. You got to have peaceful brethren. Okay, that's important. You know, not a brawler. Proverbs warns us of that. Not a brawler. Okay, and the willing, that's important. The willing. What I mean by that is people that want to be in it. People that want to do drama. The willing. Okay, I have people that love just being in whatever, production, skits, it doesn't matter, whatever, that just love to be in it, okay? That's the kind of people that need to be in a drama team because their heart is in it. Not people, it's like, well, I'm going to do this because really I'm called to preach. And so I'm going to do this for now, but I'm going to concentrate. Well, that's a great thing, man. Concentrate on preaching. Concentrate on that. But if you're going to be in a drama team, at least have some heart, man. Be willing and have some heart. Be supportive, okay? The yoke. This is important. I got this from my brother, my brother in Christ, Tom. We were talking one day, and we were talking about, I think I was probably complaining about commitment levels or whatever. And anyway, he said, Lou, what you need to do is fit him for a yoke. I said, what do you mean, man? He said, any ministry, everybody that's in it wears a yoke. Now, the yoke is what the oxen use, right? And so you go along the ground and plow the ground, right? Well, the team wears a yoke also. And what I mean by that is, hey, glad you're part of the team. This is what I expect. I expect you to be on time. I expect you to contribute. I expect you to try hard. Can you wear that yoke? Yeah? Perfect. Good deal. If you can't, okay, then maybe this time isn't right for you. The yoke is very important, okay? You're expected to be on time, to participate and help, expected to pray, to be supportive, expected to help, expect to flow, okay? This is an important thing. Sometimes you have a better idea than the leader has. You got to be careful on how you address that and how you want to give your input, okay? Because sometimes that's how rebellion starts, man. You got to be careful with that, man. I've got a better idea. We had some guys that had a better idea in 1990 in the fellowship. And they left the fellowship because they had a better idea. So you got to be careful of that, man. You know, it's not wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong, but you just have to be careful on how you give your input, man. The best thing you can do is be supportive and flow. I have a guy in Prescott. His name is Mike Solano. He's one of my favorite actors, one of my favorite supports, and. This guy is dynamite second fiddle. He is a great second fiddle. He's not the best leader because he just doesn't have the discipline. You know, he just kind of lacks it a little bit. But everybody's got their own strengths, right? But as far as being in a group, he's like the best second fiddle you could ever ask for. This guy is a cheerleader, man. This guy is like everything you do is great. Everything you do is, yeah, this will be awesome. And he's a great actor also, and just a great support. Well, that's awesome to have in your group, man. Those kind of people are great to have in your group. Okay, the night. Let's move on to the next one. The night, your job as a drama team is to help the night, not ruin it. Don't ruin the night. Competition can be harmful and an overall effect on the ministry. You got to be careful, okay? Your skit. I'm telling you, man, when we were first saved, we got saved in 1979, me, Jeff, and Tom. Now, we were off the street. We were just sinners off the street, man. And so we didn't know anything about church. Nothing, we weren't church kids, obviously. But we would go into the music scene. Now, I got saved on a Thursday night at conference. I got saved Thursday night of conference. This guy named Roy Hicks Jr. was preaching. Not even part of our fellowship. Didn't even pull an altar call. The guy that brought me afterwards asked me, "You want to get saved?" I just said, "Yeah, I do," because I was such a mess. I knew I needed it. But anyway, that was Thursday night. Saturday night, 2 days later, I went to the concert scene that we had. And I remember just sitting there. I'm used to going to bars and bands and stuff, and I remember just sitting there just going, "Oh, this is pretty good." And there's this band up there playing there called Selah, and it's like, wow, these guys are good, man. I like these guys. And it was Scott Flitcroft and Scott Lamb. And at that time, Scott had a big beard, and lots of hair, And but I remember just going, wow, these guys are good, man. And then Tom got saved Tuesday night. The following Tuesday night, 5 days later, he got saved at a new converts class, man. And there was 4 of us, and Mark Olson is teaching it. There's just 4 of us, and he's teaching on chapter 3, which was you must be born again. And he's asking Tom, "Can you read John 3:3?" And we're like, I don't know. We're in the middle of this book. Where is it in this book? It's in the New Testament. What is that? So Tom's reading. So Tom gets saved. He pulls an altar call. There's 4 of us. If you're not saved, you want to get saved, raise your hand. And Tom goes, "Yeah, I do." And so Tom got saved. And then Thursday night, Tom and I are sitting in our apartment, and Jeff and I are sitting in the apartment. In walks Tom with Mark Olson. He picked him up and he drove him home. And Jeff is there, and he starts witnessing to Jeff. And Jeff gets down on his knees and gets saved in our apartment. And so in 1 week, all 3 of us are saved. And so we're going to the music scene. And I remember sitting there. I distinctly remember one night, Tom and I are just sitting there, and the drama team came on. And he leaned over to me, he goes, "This is my favorite part of the night." So that just tells you what drama can do. And the bands are great, man, but I'm telling you, good skits, man, they can really help the night. They can push the night along. They can make the night can just be moving right along, and then a good skit just really puts it into the next gear. And it's just, suddenly the night is like, wow, this is awesome, man. What a great night. So that's your job, man, to come up with stuff that's that enjoyable, okay? All right, let's talk about building a skit. Has anybody got any questions, any input or anything like that? I don't want to ramble too much before anybody got any. If you got anything, just raise your hand and we'll talk, we'll chat, okay? All right, let's talk about building the idea, okay? There's guidelines and structure. Now, I'm going to get to a little bit later on. You know what? There's principles, man. I learned this. It took a while, a long time, decades. But, there's principles that make good drama. All right, let me talk about this. Time frame, 5 minutes. 5 minutes, okay? I don't know if I mentioned this, but 5 minutes, okay? 5 minutes. So when you're designing your skit, you know how long you go?
5 minutes.
Yeah. Who said that? Oh, it's brilliant. What a great idea. Go 5 minutes. And I'll tell you why, man. Length is not determined by time. It's determined by boredom. And so you can have a skit that's 3 minutes long that's like, oh my gosh, when is this thing going to end? Or you can have one that's 5 minutes long that's just moving right along. That's like, wow, that was awesome. But if you keep yourself to 5 minutes, what that does is that forces you to trim the fat, stuff that you don't need, man. There's times when you're putting together a skit, and if you don't time it, start timing your skits, okay? When you're in the finalized situation, start timing your skits. And if you're 6 minutes, like, okay, we got to cut a little bit, man. And it'll force you to trim, man. And that'll make you get better, because what you'll do is you'll learn what matters and what doesn't matter. And there's times when you got to, you know what, that line, we don't need that line. Let's just get rid of it. We don't need it. It's not going to help. I saw a skit just recently, and it was 5 minutes, because I time our stuff in our concert scene. And so I'm watching these guys, And they do this skit, and I'm not exaggerating at all. Honest to God, they do this. It's a news. I think it's a newscast skit. I guess it's two guys, and they're doing news. They're doing the latest news report. Now, I guess what they were trying to do is be very funny. So they're okay. That's cool. I mean, humor, comedy connects. Okay, that's cool. But they went on, and I'm not exaggerating. They went on for 4.5 minutes, and then they broke to a guy. Said, we're going to go live to John, who's on the scene. John, can you hear us? And so he's on another stage. So it would be like these guys were here, and he was over there. The other guy was over there. And so these guys are sitting there, and they're just telling jokes for 4.5 minutes. No gospel. It's 4.5 minutes, okay, of different silly news stories. They break to this guy over here, and it's like, John, can you hear us? And so he's standing there, and you know how it is. He's got the mic, and so they're listening, but there's a delay. And so, John, can you hear us? And so, he's nodding. He's just looking straight ahead like he's looking into the camera. And so they're waiting for his response. And then finally, they start talking again. And he goes, yes, I'm here. I can hear you. And so they're talking over each other. So the first time, as I'm watching this, I go, now that's good. That was good. I could work with it. I could make a whole skit on that. And they said, what do you say? Jesus Christ is still on the throne, and he's still the answer. Well, thank you, John. We appreciate that. And that ended the skit. That was it. That ended the skit. I went, what are you guys thinking, man? What are you thinking? It was 5 minutes, 4.5 of nonsense, and then you tack the gospel on at the end. That's not a good idea. That's a bad idea. But that idea that they had at the end was a good idea. I would have worked with that. To me, they could have did a really good job with walking over each other's lines constantly, and they could have did a really good, if they wrote it well, they could have did a really good job and worked in the gospel with some dignity. But anyway, bad idea. All right, let's talk about character development. Let me finish that. Comedy connects, and character that have, don't forget to have characters. Okay, you got to have characters. Not everybody needs to be the same, okay? You want to have characters. What I mean by that, has anybody ever seen Seinfeld? Has anybody ever seen Seinfeld episodes? Okay. I think I've seen two. But anyway, they have this guy, Seinfeld. I don't know what his first name is. What's his first name? Jerry. Yeah, Jerry. And he's got Costanza, right? Is that the other guy? Is he the fat guy, the little short? Okay. And then who's the tall guy? Kramer? Okay. So these are characters. These are great characters. Okay, the Costanza guy is just this short little fat guy that adds a lot of character and development in their storyline. And then they've got Kramer, who's just kind of a nut. He's just got these quirks to him. Well, those are the kind of characters that add to a production or a skit or whatever you're doing. You don't want everybody the same. You want characters. You got to develop characters. My friend in Prescott, Matt, who's one of the best character guys that I've ever worked with, has the ability to develop a character. I'll give him some lines and a character, and he'll take it to the extreme. And so it's really important to develop the characters. You don't want everybody the same. It gets a little boring. Okay. Character development. I want to watch my time here. Character development. Okay, so you want to, like I was just saying, I like Odyssey. You've probably heard of Odyssey. Eugene and Wooten and all those guys. Good characters. That's what they work with. Odyssey works with a lot of characters, and they got to use voices, and that's it. Props. Use your props. We had a drama team. They don't exist anymore, and probably for good reason. But a long time ago, we had a drama team, and basically their set was always either 5 chairs or 5 people just kind of standing in line. And that's how they did almost every one of their skits, almost every one. And so you knew, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's the Christian at the end. Okay? That's how the skit's going to work. They're going to say something dumb, and then the Christian's going to say something. Then that next week they'd be sitting down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bummer, we got an extra one. Okay, so this is going to take a little longer, okay? And so, needless to say, okay? Needless to say, be creative, man. Be creative, okay? How many people in a skit? How many does it need? How many does it need? Okay, that's important. Do you need 3? Do you need 5? Do you need 10? How many does it need? Let's go to the format. Gospel is important. Remember that skit I just told you? These guys had 4.5 minutes of nonsense and really 20 seconds probably of gospel. And give the gospel. The gospel has dignity. Okay? Not everyone has to pray. Don't end every skit the same way. Okay? Don't end every skit that way. Not everybody has to pray, man. Don't end every skit that way. And death isn't your go-to default. Notice I made that really big. Death isn't your go-to default. Somebody dies in every skit or something tragic happens, you know. I'll tell you, people like happy endings, man. I love happy. Every production I write it so it has a happy ending because I love happy endings. The gospel is a happy ending, man. We get to go to heaven. That's a great ending. Can't get any better than that. And so the gospel is a great story. And so I like happy endings, man. And especially in a play, in a production, man. I like happy endings, man, where it wraps up and it's like, if you're the sinner watching it, well, it's obvious that I just need to do what he did, man, and just pray. That's what I like to do. I like to make it very clean and clear that this is the best choice you could ever make, man. Give your life to Christ. You know, this is the best decision you could ever make. And be careful about the predictable scenario. Go to the next one. Are we there? And I just mentioned that, you know, you line up the 5 people, so that's the predictable scenario. I want to. Okay. All right, let me get to one more thing, and then I want to take a small break. Okay, let's go to building a team that lasts. I think it's the next one. Might be the next one. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so leaders, make it enjoyable, okay? Easy yoke, light burden, and practices are enjoyable. So leaders have a big responsibility, man. The leaders have to make it enjoyable. I had a girl in our drama group one time. We were working on a production, and she said to me, we're practicing along. She goes, "Man, Louie, I hate to say this, but I enjoyed drama practice more than church." I go, you probably shouldn't say that, but I'm glad you do. But that was a good thing, man. It made me feel good. It's like, good, praise God, man. We're moving in the right direction. Provide challenge, stretch the actors. Get better. Stretch the actors, okay? Build the chemistry. This is very, very important. Any good team, anybody here ever play sports? You've got to have chemistry on the team, man. That's very important. Everybody's got to get along, be on the same page. Same with a drama team, okay? And then live for the dream, man. You can do so much with theater. You can do so much with drama. Man, the world, it's open to you, man. The band plays, right? A band plays a song. They are very limited. They can play a rock song. They can play a rap song. They can play a reggae song. They're pretty limited. We are not, man. We're not. We can build a whole new world, man. We can go to a jungle. We can go to a city, man. You can go to Star Trek, man, and have the bridge. You can go anywhere you want, man. That's the possibilities of theater. It's the dream. Now, I'm going to balance it with it's hard work. Okay, it's hard work and it's not luck. Okay, it's hard work. It's not luck that leads to success. Okay, let's finish with this note. Here's a note that a woman gave a drama leader after seeing a piece of drama. Listen to this, very interesting. You can't see our faces because of the lights. You don't know our names, and you don't know where we've been or where we are struggling to go, but we're watching. And don't ever doubt that we are watching and that God may be preparing a heart right at this minute to grow because of what you do. That's a pretty fascinating note that someone would give a drama leader. That's what's happening, man. The people's hearts are being moved by what they see. And that's the goal, man, is to move them in the right direction of the cross. Okay, let's take a break. sitting for an hour is pretty long. We got a question?
A statement,
Yeah.
if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah.
Just a couple of weeks ago, well, a month and a half ago, a guy I've known for 14 years, a year older than me, in his 60s, he came over to my house for out of nowhere. He sit there and he sang me the blues and told me everything that was going on in his life. He actually got honest with me.
Yeah, praise God.
And he came through the 180 for the first time.
Wow.
And the drama that they did in the 180 nailed everything that he was telling me in my living room. And he actually prayed with me that night.
Yeah.
But it was like I was blown away because that drama connected with this guy.
Yeah.
And he was squirming so bad because he knew I didn't have a chance to tell them what he had told me.
Yeah, praise God.
But I just wanted to.
Yeah. See, yeah, that's a great testimony, and you get a person saved, moved because of a piece of drama. What an awesome testimony.
Yeah, as far on stretching the actors, when I first got in drama, Bill Buer, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was the drama leader, and the Pastor Rex came in, he was kind of help out. He was trying to stretch us, stretching me, and kind of where I was getting mad, right? And
Nice.
right. And
Nice.
So you gotta bring some emotion out of people.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I want right there. You know?
Yeah.
So a lot of times you try to stretch people, and they think that you don't like them as a person, or you don't think they're a good actor, but you're trying to stretch them to make them better.
That's right.
And that's what I figured out.
That's right.
I became better because he was provoking me to get better.
Yeah, that's exactly right, man. I was putting this play together, and I had this couple. I wanted a couple to play this part because it was going to be a marriage breakdown, and I wanted it to be a couple and not just a guy and a girl. I wanted a couple because there had to be some emotional pull there. They were so bad. When we first started, I had my friend Mike Solano pull me aside. He said, "Lou, are you sure you know what you're doing?" I said, "Yeah, trust me, Mike, on this one. I know it's going to take a little while, but we're going to get it out of them." And by the end, when we were ready to perform, they were ready to go. But that's what I had to do, man. I would stop all the time. Stop. Okay, that's not what we need, man. I need more emotion in this scene. Here's what's going through your mind. Here's what's going through your heart right now. This is what you're feeling. That's got to bleed through. And by the end, yep, they went from here, to a really good performance. And I'll tell you, Pastor Dwayne Renz, when we first started Star Trek, I stopped him. I can't tell you how many times I would say, "No, Dwayne, you are constant. Your inflection is terrible. It's always the same. You can't do that, man. You have to vary your deliveries, man." "Okay, all right, no problem." He'd do it the same. "Stop. You just did it again." But by the end, didn't he do a good job? He did a great job, man. And so sometimes that's what you got to do, man. That's what the director's doing. He's pulling it out of you, man. Okay, do we have a skit we can do? Do we have one? Okay, good. All right, so let's do it. Let's do one right now. I want to see one. So who's got it? All right, let's do it, bro. All right.
Sunny night in the middle of October. I was just finishing up a tough day's work, Sam Slade. I was looking for a prospective client. When all of a sudden, she walked in.
Excuse me, sir, are you Sam Slade?
Well, that depends. Who's asking?
My name's Gertrude. I'm Gertrude Stengall. I spoke with you over the phone.
Oh, I remember now. You said you were suspicious of your husband for some reason.
Yeah, I don't really know where to begin with the story.
Well, why don't you begin at the beginning, like why you're suspicious of your husband?
Yeah, that's an idea there. Okay, so, the issue, he's just changed. That's what I'm noticing in him.
Oh, what kind of change?
Well, You see, he comes home and he's happy. He gives me a hug and a kiss. He takes a shower, dresses up really nice, cleans up after himself, and goes out for a couple hours, which he used to do all the time, but something's just strange.
Well, it sounds like a good husband. What seems to be the problem?
Well, you see, that's the issue. A good husband. Before, he used to come home every day. He's mad, yelling, and throws himself on the couch. He drinks a few beers. He's disgusting smelling all day. And then he would go to the bar all night long and come home smashed. And that's what we've lived with for years.
Well, you think he's having some kind of an affair? You want me to put a tail on?
Can you? Please. I just really need to know.
Yeah, sure. You got a picture of him.
Yeah.
Oh, he looks like a nice guy. All right, well, I'll put a tail on him, and I'll get back to you, and I'll let you know what I find out, all right?
Thank you.
God, Mr. Slade, I'm not doing anything, man. I'm just living life. Hey, I was just waiting for the right time until, she could really hear me out, man. Kind of her upbringing and all. You understand me.
Yeah, it's all starting to make sense now. You know what? She's going to be here any minute, all right? I think that's her right now. Just follow my lead, okay? Hey, Gertrude, come on in.
As soon as I heard. What did you find out? Wait, what is
It's not what
this?
you think!
What do you mean
It's not what you
I
think!
I know exactly
Well,
what
hold
you've
on,
been up to,
Gertrude, hold on.
mister.
Just let him tell his side of the story.
Yeah. Please. Listen, I've changed. I'm telling you, I've been going to this church. I'm reading my Bible. I'm even going to Bible studies every Friday. That's what I've been doing. Jesus Christ has changed my life. Honestly. And I wanted that for you. I didn't want to tell you, because of your upbringing and all. I wanted to know the right time.
So,
Trust me.
you weren't out with somebody else?
No. I've been living for God. Jesus changed me. And he can do the same for you. He can heal our marriage. Transform our relationship. I'm sorry if I caused any trouble, but
It's okay. I'm sorry. I was just so suspicious of how you were acting, but do you really think that Jesus can help me?
yes, I've been waiting for this. He can help you. He can help us. And we can pray about this. Would you like to pray? Huh?
You think I could get in on that prayer too?
Of course, Mr. Slade. Come on.
All right.
All right.
We all meet.
Good job. 6 minutes and 25 seconds. Remember the 5-minute rule. I'm telling you, okay? It only helps. What's your name? Jeff? Good character. I like that character. Okay. All right. Good job on the gospel. Great job on the gospel. Dignity, that's what you want. Good job on the gospel. Good job on the idea. There's always things that you can think of after you do it, but I thought that was a good job. Okay, very good. Let's move on. Let's move on. Okay, so you see that, right? So my first inclination is, okay, no problem. We're above where we want to be. We're a minute and a half above where we want to be. Let's trim it down. And so let's remove some things and let's fix some things. I guarantee you, if you could remove a minute and a half on that and be under 5 minutes, and you'll move even faster. And I'm gonna share with you a really important point in drama. And what's your name? Diane.
No, Cheyenne.
Oh, Cheyenne. Yeah, you'll know. You'll realize some of this stuff I'm gonna cover right now. Okay, let's on our PowerPoint. We're gonna jump ahead. Jump ahead to number 21. 21. Okay, principles. Once again, let me involve my buddy Tom Payne. One of your primary jobs, Lou, is to make sin look stupid and to make the gospel look dignified. That's what he told me. Great idea. One of your primary jobs, make sin look stupid and give the gospel dignity. Never reversed. Never reversed. Listen, don't fall into the trap of having your strong actors be the sinners and your weak actors being the Christian. Don't do that. Reverse that, man. Make your strong actors have to bring the gospel, man. I love playing the Christian. To me, that is, I love playing because I love presenting the answer. I love being the one that gets to present the answer. But don't give the strength don't put your strong actor in the unsafe position and your weak actor in the Christian. I've seen our drama groups, they'll have their drama team performing a skit, and then they'll have the 13-year-old who's very new to the stage, who's uncomfortable on the stage, presenting the gospel. Bad move, man. Bad move. Give the gospel dignity, okay? This is one of the things that Tom taught me. People, and this is so true, people don't see themselves correctly. So you have to help them. And you're going to help them by making them understand you're lost, you're going to hell, and Jesus loves you and he can save you, okay? Normally, they don't see themselves as sinners in need of Jesus. So you have to add to the night, chip in your part, and make that clear to them, okay? Get past the defense mechanisms in the human personality, and drama is a tension relief, okay? You shift gears in the night, okay? So when you see something like this, you know, Jeff, right? Jeff brings great hope to the situation, okay? To the situation, to the family scenario, in a very harmless setting. And so, you know, you've got a sinner watching that, and they're just, yeah, I grew up in a family pretty dysfunctional, and they just muse over the idea, you know, and that Jesus is the answer. We're going to get to the end of the night, not right now, you know, it's just a skit. And just remember, as a drama team, man, you're not pulling the altar call. You're just part of the night, okay? So you're conveying a truth. The truth that they conveyed was Jesus can help a marriage. That was their theme. Jesus can change a life and help a marriage, okay? You don't have to get the whole gospel in your skit. That's not necessary, man. You're just part of the night. You aren't the whole night. You're part of the night. Okay, let's go to the next one. If your drama team's going to be good, you're going to have to try to be good. I used to coach my little boy's basketball team, and he was just learning. I remember he was playing on an 8-foot rim. Now that's perfect for me. 10 foot's a little high, and he was, I don't know, 5, I guess, and he was just starting to play basketball, you know, and the ball's almost as big as him, you know. And but I loved coaching. I loved coaching his team, and I coached him all the way up until basically middle school, basically high school. And by the time he went to high school, he was starting point guard every year for the high school in Prescott Valley, and was a good basketball player. But I remember I used to tell him and the team all the time, if you're going to be good, you're going to have to try. And so same with you and me in theater. If you're going to be good, man, you're going to have to try. That means, like our brother was saying, you have to break through barriers, man. There's times like I would have pulled more out of you. I'd have said, nah, I'm not getting enough. I need more emotion. I need a little bit more clarity. I would have pulled more out of her. I said, that you're here, let's get you up here. Okay, let's get you a little bit more character. And so there's times you have to break through. I'm convinced that in every actor, and what's your name again? Shia. I'm going to try and remember that, Shia. And you know this because you were in high school drama. Actors will they'll go so far, and then they are inhibited because they don't want to embarrass themselves. They won't go that far. I'll go this far, but I'm not going to go that far because that's a little bit too wild. But in drama practice, that's where you develop, man, because you're just with your peers, man, and that's where you can expand your horizons and your abilities. And that's what you want to do. You want to get better at what you're doing. You don't want to be one-dimensional, man. You want to be able to create characters and push yourself farther and farther. Do I need a lot of emotion in this? Do I need a lot of movement in this? Do I need a lot of action? What do I need in this character? Okay. It seems, okay, let me make this point quickly. It seems this happens in drama a lot. A lot of people, when they join drama, this is what they think. Can't be that hard, man. Can't be that hard. I don't have any talent to play in a band, so I'll join the drama group. Yeah, I'll be in the drama team. Yeah. Okay, all right, fine. Let's use that scenario in the band, okay? So what if, hey, I want to join your band. Can you play? Well, I can learn. I want to play drums. Okay, all right. I haven't the foggiest idea how to play drums. But man, I got heart. Hey, I want to. Sometimes that happens in drama. Is you get, hey, it can't be that hard, right? Well, it is. There is some technique to drama, and it is a little bit tricky. And so sometimes you get a scenario where you get somebody who is not a drummer who wants to play drums in the drama team, who wants to play the lead role, who can't play the lead role. Okay, so you have to be careful of that. And so as a director, you have to be aware of that. And sometimes you have to cast to people's strengths. Okay, so be aware of that. Okay. Okay, and the last point, very important. Now remember, there's technique that governs the world of theater, the world of our ministry, theater, technique. Now this is an eye-opener that when I discovered this, when I say discovered, I just mean I learned it from the guys that are really good at it, It's like, oh, that's how you do it? Perfect. Because I just read a lot. It's like I don't know everything, and so I would read a lot. It's like, yeah, that makes total sense, man. Okay, let's go to the next one. When drama works well, one is never conscious. Now, we were just talking about this, Shia. When drama works well, one is never conscious of the actor or the director's skill. Rather, one simply believes what is being seen is real. This is called what? The suspension of disbelief. That's right. And so that's what you are creating, okay, when it works well. When drama works well, you're not aware of the techniques that have been used, okay? And there are techniques that are used. The director is moving pieces around. Lines are being delivered at certain times and from certain places. In good drama, the audience is caught up in the characters, right? The action and the tension, and is completely unaware of the techniques that are used to achieve such believability. And as a matter of fact, the methodology of drama is difficult to discern. Okay, let me mention the 10 commandments of drama, okay? Thou shalt not be inaudible. If you can't be heard, you're not helping, okay? You're not helping. I'm going to say kudos. Who was running a sound just now on that skit? All right. So I was about to say, if you don't turn the background music down, we're going to lose this skit. And you did. Good catch, man. You want it. It doesn't need to be really loud, okay? I want to hear what these guys are saying. I don't care about the music, man. I want to hear what they're saying. The music's just in the background, man. You shall not be boring and lifeless, okay? Be active. Thou shalt not be afraid, okay? Thou shalt not go undirected, okay? I tell people Now this is probably a little bit ambitious, but I'll tell people, like I'm getting ready to start a new production of Jesus Play. And I was telling one of my friends, they go, well, duh, isn't that everything a Jesus Play? I go, no. A play about Jesus. I've never done one. I'm going to do a play about Jesus, man, and with the trial and everything. But anyway, I have a girl that I've never worked with, but she's got some ability and she's got the look, And I said, you want to be in it? She goes, yeah, I would love to. And I said, if you'll just listen to me, I'll make you a star, man. Just do what I tell you, and I'll make you a star, man. But the director needs to be able to do that, man. Just listen to what I tell you, man, and I'll make you good, man. Because what happens is the actor, you can't see, right? You can't see yourself, but the director can, and he sees, and he goes, no. We've got some issues, we've got some problems. Okay, so Jeff, here's one of the things I noticed right off the bat. So you are, and I would have said, Jeff, don't do that. Okay, you're talking to the yeah, and so you're constantly playing to the audience. Remember, there's a fourth wall here. We don't break that. Okay, so naturally, this is where your conversation is. In a natural situation, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't be talking, Jesus changed my life. He changed my life. You wouldn't do that because you're talking to this person. That's how you want to stay. Stay here. Don't play to the audience unless it's a scene where you're going to break that wall and you're going to include the audience in on a secret and then you're going to come back in. Otherwise, just stay in the scene, okay? Hopefully that helps. I'm not trying to be critical. I'm just trying to help, man. Okay, thou shalt rehearse and learn your lines. Thou shalt, go on to the next one, thou shalt know when you're on. That's important. Know when you're on, for heaven's sakes. Where's John, man? Where is John? He's still sitting out there. Go get him. Oh, that's happened? Yeah. Okay. Thou shalt be creative. Thou shalt do gospel. Remember that skit I told you about? 4.5 minutes of nonsense, and then the guy with the microphone. Yeah, Jesus is still on the throne. Don't do gospel, okay? Do gospel. Thou shalt do research, explore many different drama ideas. That's important, man. Just read, open yourself up to ideas. I got some of the best advice I ever got from Sylvester Stallone. Not that I was talking to him personally. I was watching an interview with him, and he was talking about. He's been in a bunch of movies, man. He's actually been. I heard an interview that he has been in a box office hit every decade since Rocky, and I think Rocky goes back to the 70s or 80s. He's been in a box office hit every decade. He's been in one. Only actor to ever do that. So that's pretty admirable. But anyway, what he said, and this is great advice, and this is on the plays, and I'm going to get to those in just a minute. He said, write, and then do your rewrites. And that's so important, man. I'll write a play. I've got a high school play I haven't done yet that's totally written. I've got a rock drama that's Last Hurrah at the Howlin' Hole Saloon that's done. I've got a Jesus play that's done. I've got Clue that's done. But now what I do is I revisit them. Because when I first write them, it's like, this is awesome. This is great. And then I'll revisit it a week later. It's like, what am I thinking? This is terrible. And then I'll start to rewrite, okay? So that's really important, man. Revisit your stuff, and that's on the plays, and we'll get to those in just a minute, okay? And remember, number 10, thou shalt not break the 5-minute rule. Don't break the 5-minute rule. I'm telling you, it will help you. Trust me, it will help you. Okay, here's some ideas that'll help you get started with a skit. What's the idea? Okay? Go to the next one. Every story needs, here we go with technique. A beginning, a middle, and an end. Okay, I know that sounds simple, but believe it or not, the guy that came up with that is Shakespeare. He said every play needs to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Oh, that's brilliant, man. And it is. Okay, that's how you write a story, okay? So you make an outline, you develop your characters, and you write a good ending, okay? Common mistake is when writing, skits or sketches is incorporating either too few or too many characters. As you write, make sure that each character is serving a purpose, be it in the background or in the dialogue. And background actors are good and they're bad. They're both, okay? They can help you and they can hurt you. You got to be careful with your background actors. Okay? All right, so let's try this. Okay, let's try this. Let's do a Jack and Jill workshop. Okay, we're going to write Jack and Jill went up the hill, okay? We're going to write a skit about these guys. Let's figure out. These are the kind of things that you want to explore. Let's figure out their conversation. What will be said by Jack and Jill as they go up the hill? Why are they going up the hill anyway? How are they dressed? Where's the gospel? How about some conflict? Do they run into someone they know? What are their ages? What are their issues? As you explore these things, suddenly, man, it's like all the ideas start to come. Instead of just Jack and Jill, let's just have Jack and Jill went up the hill. We'll do that skit. Yeah, they went up the hill, fetch a pail of water. But you start exploring why and how. It gives you all kinds of new ideas, man, how you can put in, what are their characters? What did they run into somebody they know? What are their ages? All these things help, okay? Acting tips and such, okay? The aim of any actor is the same, to tell the truth. Now listen to this. To tell the truth, don't miss this. To tell the truth in such a way that people will be entertained, uplifted, surprised, convicted, encouraged, to open up for them a different world called the kingdom of God. Okay, that is our goal, man. And so we're going to do it through theater. We're going to open up their hearts to them, to the kingdom of God. All right, the power of attention. Watch this. Okay, let's get some actors. You two, let's up on stage. Okay, let's get a couple of guys. All three of you guys. Yep, all three of you guys, right over here. Okay, I need a couple of more. Okay, let's have you two guys. Yep, both you guys. Okay, just up on stage. Okay, now I need the Christian and the sinner. Okay, you two guys. All right. Okay, watch what we can do with background actors. Okay, so let's put you right here. And we're going to put you right there. Okay, you guys are the primaries. Okay? All right, now. Okay, let's stage this. Okay? Let's you know what? We'll use this. Since this is here, we're going to use this, okay? I'll show you how fine, no problem. We're going to space ourselves a little bit, okay? Okay, this is going to be a scenario. You're sitting down, okay? You three guys are grouped over here in this corner, okay? No, you're going to be with her. Let's have you with these guys. This will look better. You guys are all right. Now you guys are a group, okay? So let's have. Okay, see how flat you are? You're flat to the audience. Let's not do that. Let's make it like this, okay? So we're just in a group. We're just chatting, okay? We're just talking, okay? All right. You guys are on you're on your phone and you're deciding where you want to eat or something like that, okay?
Are we together or we're just...
Yeah, no, you're together. You're together. You guys are the primaries, okay? So you guys are just having a conversation about the gospel, and you're going to say, like in pretty quick time, what you got to realize is you're a sinner. Okay, so you be the Christian, you're the sinner. What you got to realize is you're a sinner. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to show how we can point the audience attention to where we want them. Okay, so we're going to have let's space you guys up more to the left. Okay, more to the left. Okay, all right, that's not bad. Let's back you guys up just a tad, right there. Okay, all right. Okay, what you guys are doing is you're like at a bank situation, you're applying for a loan or whatever, and you guys are, you're talking, and you would normally have some papers, okay, and you're talking. Okay, you guys are just shooting a breeze. All these are detached situations, okay? That's all. But what we're going to do is everybody's just kind of doing their own thing quietly. These guys have the stage, they're witnessing, but he's going to say, what you need to realize is you're a sinner. And as soon as he says that, we're going to stop everything that's going on and everybody's going to focus on him. Okay? So you guys are looking at each other, you're just talking. As soon as he says that, we look, okay? And everybody puts, so you guys are here, and I want you guys are like, you're not going to believe what just happened, okay? And then when that happens, everybody's going to turn, and you're going to freeze, okay? Is what we're going to do, okay? So you guys are looking at and carrying on, okay? And have a little bit of action to it, okay? All right, and you guys, okay, we're going to make this really quick, okay? All right, so here's your line. What do you think about the gospel? I'm a good person, okay? What you need to realize is you're a sinner. That's how quick we're going to get to it, okay? So we're going to get to it pretty darn quick, okay? So it's going to be very, very short. What do you think about the gospel? I'm a pretty good person. What you need to realize is you're a sinner, okay? When he says sinner, everybody focuses, okay? So we're going to show the power of our background actors, okay? What we can do with our background actors. Okay, all right, okay. All right, when I say go, everybody's in their scene, okay? Let's back you up just a little bit. Right there. There you go. There you go. Sinner. We're turning on sinner. What you need to realize is you're a sinner. Okay, we're going to turn on sinner. Okay, that's what we're going to turn. Okay, now what we're using right now, and I use this all the time, is a triangle. Flat lines are really bad. Flat lines. We could stage it where everybody is pretty much, we got another group here and those guys there. We have a flat line. But I always work in triangles. See, we have a triangle here. See this right here? We have a triangle right here. We have a triangle right here. See, I always work in triangles because it gives more depth to the stage, okay? All right, okay. All right, is everybody ready? Okay. You guys ready with your lines? Okay, let's see what our background actors, how they can help us, okay? All right, ready? Go.
Basically, bro, I'm a good person.
Herman, what you've got to realize is you're a sinner.
Okay, you guys miss it. All right, okay, let's do it again. Okay, let's do it again. Let's do it again. All right, same thing. A little bit. Okay. Yeah, you got to pay attention here. Okay, all right. Okay, you ready? Okay, you guys ready? Okay, ready? Action. Let's go.
So, Herman, what do you think about the gospel?
Man, basically, I'm a good person.
Well, what you've got to realize, man, is you're a sinner.
All right. Now, what we just did is we created a great moment of tension right here. And now what we can do is we have all kinds of options. We got all these characters that are frozen. And so we could have him step out of this scene. You got to realize you're a sinner. And everybody's frozen. And we can end the skit this way. It's like, what you need to realize, man, is you're a sinner. And that God loves you. And he can save you. And then he can step back into it and say, let me explain to you just how lost you are, man. And everybody just melts back into their scene. The lights dim. We just ended a skit, okay? So that's simple. We could do something that simple. Thank you, guys. All right, everybody can sit down. All right, that's the power of the background actors, okay? You can do a lot with background actors. Okay, let's go on to the next one. This is going to be number 32. Find the right level of the group. Okay, new directors, be careful. Don't be under ambitious, thinking you can't tackle something that's pretty good size, but don't be over ambitious, thinking that you can tackle The Lion King, man. That's a big production, Phantom of the Opera. You have to cast your performer's strengths, okay? Not everybody has the same ability, okay? So cast your performer's strengths, okay? Go over and over and over again. It might seem boring, but it saved loads of time later, okay? Notice, so we had to fix. Hold on. You missed it, man. He said that line sinner and you forgot to turn. Oh, yeah, sorry, man, sorry. Let's fix it. So you go over it and fix it. Go over it and fix it. But notice, what could we do? We could have built a really small little intro storyline, and we've got a 3-minute skit, man, that's effective, That does a fine job, And so you don't overthink it, and overproduce it. But make sure that you've practiced and go over and over so it'll save you time later, man, and problems later. The boring test is pretty important. Ask yourself, is it interesting? Does it capture the imagination, and does it say something? Okay, that's pretty important, okay? The boring test is pretty important. And then this is a very good test, is the ACTS test, okay? Do I have to shelf this one? Is it bad? Is it good enough to perform? Or do I need to just sit on it for a while and say, nah, let's not do this? I've put together entire skits and said, nah, this ain't gonna fly, man. Let's not, nah. Let's figure out something Saturday when we come together. Let's come a little earlier and we'll put something together. Because it just wasn't gonna work, you know. And sometimes you gotta do that. Sometimes you just gotta say, this ain't gonna work, man. Here's an important one. Never show off, okay? You can sometimes get to the point and come to a particular point in the show, in the production, whatever, and think, man, I'm really good at this. Never think that, okay? Never think that. Don't signpost to an audience what they should be thinking, okay? This is important. I think this is really important. Don't explain everything to the audience. Let them figure things out, okay? That's really important. Let them figure things out. Movement. Too much movement is bad. Not enough is bad. Balance is critical, okay? Notice how we had these background actors, but I didn't have them moving a lot, okay? I didn't want to, because movement attracts attention. And so if I had any crosses going on, the audience would be watching, you know, the main witness. But then as a cross took place or some movement, the audience would watch that. And then they would come back. I didn't want that. I just wanted the background actors to help the scene as a whole. And then in a moment, man, I wanted them all to focus, put the entire focus right on that gospel point that we were making, okay? Act with your voice, your eyes, and slightly with your face, okay? Your voice and your eyes, slightly with your face. You have to learn how to sing with a New York accent, right? Sit as a character, walk as a character, be in the character. Okay, the energy has to be used to enhance and not to distract. Okay, let's move on to the elements of drama. Yes, sir.
Act with your face.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
You bet.
Now, before you said that you don't want to break the plane of the audience, but do you not want them to see the side of your head the whole time either, do you? Or...
Yeah, I don't worry. I'll tell you. Because I work with natural settings. And so to me, if Jeff, come up here for a second. If Jeff and I are having a conversation, okay, and we're just having a conversation, we're going to talk like this. I'm not going to talk to him like this.
Right.
That's not natural, okay? Now if I was back and I left him there, okay, now I can have a full front to the audience. He's got a side view, okay, he's got a profile, but this is natural. I don't want to talk with us like this.
No.
So how you doing? Oh, good. It's way unnatural. And so I don't worry about that. There's times when I will direct a fullback into a production and have actors talking like this with a fullback to the audience because it's a natural look. And so I'm not against that. And so I don't think you ever want to discount the fact that sometimes you have to have actors with either a profile, a three-quarter back, or a fullback. I think that there's times when you're going to have to use that, okay, which would have a profile on their face. Some of the audience sees more of their back. It's just the way it goes, man. And I don't worry about that. I worry more about the scene itself. Good question, though. Good question. Anybody else got a question? Thanks, Jeff. I don't mean to hang you out there. Okay, primary elements, okay? Theme, plot, character. Okay, theme, central idea of the work, okay? Earlier, the skit, the central idea was the fact that we had Jesus change a person's life that was going to change his marriage. The plot is the storyline itself. That's the organized scenes of the structure of the skit or the play is the plot. That's how we're going to reveal story points, okay? The characters are the players that are in the piece, obviously, and they move through the plot's conflicts. Okay, let's know the stage. Okay, Shia probably knows this. Okay, Shia, right? Shia? Shia. Yeah, I'm alive. I'm going to get it. Okay, I'm going to get it. Okay, Shia. Okay. You know the stage, Shia? Do you know the stage direction? Yeah. Stage left, stage right? Stage directions, yeah. Okay, all right, good. Come on. Come here. Okay. So this really helps as a director to know the stage. I use this all the time with my actors because I want to be able to move them. Get up on the stage. Okay, let's have you down stage left. Okay, so I'll tell them.
Well, because it's yours.
No. Always the actors. Always the actors. So there are basically 9 parts of the stage, okay? Think of a big square, okay? So right now, Shia is downstage left. And the reason they call it downstage and upstage is because once upon a time, they had a tilted stage. And so downstage was literally down to this down part of the slant of the stage. Upstage was at the top part of the stage. So that's how they got the directions downstage and upstage. And then there's center. So there's downstage left, there's center downstage, and I'm going to be downstage right. Okay? Then we're going to have center stage right, center stage left. And then if she backs up, go upstage left, she would be there. And so it really helps. It makes it a lot easier when you're the director saying, okay, let's put you downstage left. Let's have you cross downstage left. Okay? It really helps to be able to move quickly through your directing, okay? And then there are times when you're going to use profiles, and the way you do that is, I'm a full front right now, and you use your feet. So I'm going to put my foot at basically a 45 and my back foot across the plane of the backstage. Okay, now I'm at about a 45. And I'm going to use a full profile, a side profile, and then I'm going to do the same for a 3/4, and then I'm going to have a full back. And thanks, Jaya, that'll work. That's how you can help directing the movement of your actors and putting them in good positions where the staging looks good, okay? All right. Let's move on. Here are 8 things that are going to help you prepare to do the best job you can. Okay, we're going to really move fast now because I don't want to miss 2 things. Okay, pray, check your props. We went over this. Check your costume. Okay, check your costume. Make sure your mic is on, okay? And nervousness to energy. Let me stop on this one point. Okay, this is an important point. You'll have new actors, especially in a big production. What is the latest big production you guys did? Harriet Tubman? Okay. How long was it? Hour? 45? Okay. All right. So did you have any new actors in it? Okay. All right. So new actors will notoriously do this. I am so nervous. I am so nervous, right? Am I right? Right? They do that. I know because I deal with it all the time. Okay, I'm really nervous right now. Okay, so what you want to teach them is teach them to move that nervousness to energy. And I tell them, I get that all the time, say, look, what you're feeling right now is energy. It can either paralyze you or it can help you, okay? And that depends on where you put that energy. What you're feeling right now, that energy, that anxiousness, use it for your performance. Don't let it work against you, but use it for your performance, okay? Because there's a lot of energy right there that's inside of you, but it's working against you because it's making you nervous. Let it work for you and propel your performance, okay? And that's really important.
Just recently, it was a children's play for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
One of the little girls, main character, she was crying. And I understood that because of singing in school, that her excitement was coming out in her tears.
Yeah.
But as soon as she started acting, the tears have gone and she was in it. But because of her age and everything, she just wept. I mean, she was weeping. But as soon
Backstage?
No, up on stage up front.
First line in the whole play.
Oh, no
So
way.
everybody's lining up on stage.
Oh, no way.
She's crying. But her first line, when the music cue, and it was her first, she snapped out of it, said her line, it was fine the rest of the play.
That excitement.
Impressive.
It came out, yeah.
How old is she?
8.
Wow, impressive. Yeah, there you go. That's a perfect example of it, man. That's what happens, and even, even people who have been acting and been on are very familiar with the stage. That will still happen to them, man. They'll feel that intensity. And it usually is in a big production. Not normally in skits, but in a big production. They'll feel that, and that nervousness, that anxiety. You want to use that. You want to use that for your help, not against you. You want to use it to propel your performance. Okay, run your lines. I run lines all the time backstage. I'll run lines. Normally, in the latest production, I had a scene with Krista, and so we would just run lines backstage. And running lines is basically just doing that. We would just be saying our lines. We're not acting at all. We're just running our lines so they're fresh in our minds. Good thing to do. Helps you remember your lines. Okay, think about your character and enjoy what you do. All right, the practice. I'm gonna plow through this real quick. The practice, okay, and this is important. Okay, suggestions between the actors. This is minimal. There's one director. Okay, now I'm a stickler about this, man. That the suggestions are minimal. I'm not saying they're non-existent. I'm just saying they're minimal. They need to be tempered, man. Too much. And then you start having a tug of war in who's going to direct, okay? So those of you that are not the director, the suggestions are minimal, okay? Be careful with those. Open rehearsals, I don't do open rehearsals, and I'll tell you why. Meaning, people like you guys just, hey, we want to watch you practice. Now, I close my practices because I want the actors not to feel inhibited. I want them to be able to work on their character and just to work with the team, okay? So I don't have open rehearsals. Don't be careless with the actors' times, directors. Don't be careless. You that are leaders, don't be careless with the actors' time. Use it effectively, okay? Scapegoating just means blaming somebody. Don't blame, don't, man, that was a good skit, but John forgot his stinking lines, man, and ruined it. Don't do that, okay? You're a team, okay? Don't scapegoat. Okay, offstage romantic relationships. I don't know if I still have it on my phone. I might. We had a practice. We were doing To the Rescue, the superheroes, and we had that in our group. We had a romance going on. And during practice, God's honest truth, during practice, he asked her to marry her in a scene. And in reality, asked her to marry her. And I filmed it because I knew it was coming. He told me he was going to do it, and it didn't work out. So, a word to the wise. Yeah, can you believe that, huh? Can you believe that? All right, complaining. There's never enough time, rehearsal, or money. Hey, welcome to the world of theater, okay? There's never enough time, money, or rehearsal. Welcome to the theater, okay? All right, an effective direct, the only thing worse than no drama is what? Yeah, that's right. Don't forget that, you guys. Make that your mantra. Okay, all right, okay, let's jump to 43, okay? This is where I want to live right now. I want to be here. Okay, this is very important. All right, we're going to go to directing pitfalls. Okay, listen to me. Don't miss this. Slow pace. This is very important, okay? The number one inhibitor of a good, effective piece is pacing is too slow, okay? You have to be careful with your pacing. And what I mean is that's line delivery, okay? And a lot of times I will tell the actors, like Dwayne was a great example. I would stop it over and over and say, Dwayne, you are too slow in your delivery. Your delivery has to be faster. You're too slow, man. Pick up the pace. I forgot. I was going to bring, and I stinking forgot it. I was going to bring my Star Trek script and show you that what I give the actors, I give them. This is my seminar, but this is what a script looks like that I write. It's bound like this, and it'll have all kinds of marks in it of the pacing, and I'll have little arrows indicating this needs to be delivered. These lines are right on top of each other. These move very fast. And so, like there were scenes, like in the last production we did, the Star Trek production, when there's an argument with the crew, and I spaced everybody apart from each other. All that is on top of it, and I go over that again and again and again. Pick up the pace. They got to be tighter, man. We don't want anything in between those lines. He says a line, I'm on it. She's saying a line, I'm responding to that. He's saying another line. We want it to move quickly. Okay, pace is very, very, very important. That sets apart a good piece from an okay to a bad piece. So that includes the response time. When an actor says, "You want to go to the game tonight?" It doesn't take long to decide. You want to go to the game tonight? Yeah, okay. It's not necessary. Want to go to the game tonight? Yeah, let's go. What time? Just move it forward, okay? Just move it forward. Keep the pace energized. Okay, it's defined by information flow. And that's what sets the pros apart from the amateurs, okay? Energy gives drama, its charge and its drive and its sense that it's going somewhere. Now, most actors need to be reminded that they need to stay connected, stay focused, make it live. I'll tell them, I'll use those lines. Make it live. Make it live. In other words, it has to have some life to it. It's got to feel like it's going somewhere. It can't just set. It's got to feel like it's going somewhere, okay? That's the pace and the energy. Now, if we were to, like the skit that we saw, I would give them space. We're a little bit too crowded, man. Look, we have a stage. You'll read directors' tips, and directors will tell you, yeah, I went to that play, and I kept waiting for them to use upstage right, and they never did. I couldn't believe it. They just left it. They left it out. They didn't use it. And so I read that stuff, and I think to myself, and Shai, you know what I'm talking about. You use the entire stage, man. I don't just use one part of the stage. Just use the middle, man, where the audience can see you. Why? I use the entire stage, man. There are times I'll split actors one side of the stage to the other, talking to each other. And then I'll isolate the lighting. And so just they are in the lighting. And we've got all this space in between, but it's a nice stage picture. And then I'll have them move, maybe come together, maybe go to a different place, maybe sit down. But I'll have all kinds of movement that's already blocked in. And I'll use the entire stage. Don't just use one part of your stage. And then when you have, like these, like at the point when Jeff was here and he was talking to Sam Spade. No, he wasn't Spade. He was something. Unlikely. Okay. And the wife walks in. This is a great moment where you can set up some really nice blocking. This is a great moment. Instead of bunching everybody up, man, there's a great moment to create some nice space, man, and get some nice tension, which is that's exactly what was happening there, was tension. We could have moved it forward a little bit more. And I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk about that in just a second, man. We've got 1 hour left. Is about all we've got. And so I want to do some blocking right now, show you some tips on blocking, and then we're going to talk about writing plays, okay, and how to write plays, because there's principles to use, man. And you use them, and I'm telling you, I can write about anything. I can write about anything just simply because I just use the principles. Just use the principles. I don't care. I could write about the Russian war right now, no problem. I could create a play for that. And the only reason I could do it is that I'm just going to use the principles, man, on how to write a play. I'm going to create some tension. I'm going to create some conflict. I'm going to create an introduction, and I'm going to create a subplot and just move from there. Okay, on blocking. Okay, novice directors will say, go up on stage and do what feels natural. Okay, this is no help to new actors. My buddy Mike Solano, that I've talked a little about, he'll tell me at times, Lou, direct me. Where do I go? What do I do? And he's a very good actor and a very mature actor. But actors need to know what they have to do. You've got to direct them. Okay, I need you to move. Let's have some movement right here. And I'm going to show you right now on some blocking moments. Okay. Okay. Let's move Let's move all the way down to 47, okay? Effective directing and blocking, okay? The first tool is simply that all movement needs to be motivated, okay? That means every action that an actor takes, there needs to be a reason for it, okay? You can't have random movement on stage, movement for movement's sake. Rather, it needs to be rooted in character and intentionality. The second principle is really simple. Just needs that actors need to pay attention to the scene, okay? Actors need to pay attention to the scene. The third, this is where we have a visual demonstration, and I think that will be very helpful. And we're going to just simply call this the cross away and turn technique, okay? This is some blocking techniques. And it's really important that you understand how to use this because it's one of the real tools that it's going to allow you to open up your space and your stage. All right, we got a script, okay? Here's our script. Does anybody know these lines? Okay? All right, so we're going to have Shia. You're going to be Mary. I knew it. You can't be trusted. Okay, that's your line. See that? All right, come up on stage. All right, and we need an actor. Okay, we need an actor. We need somebody that's going to pair with you. That'll be right. Okay, you know what, Jeff? I'm gonna have you do it. Okay, so you've got 2 lines. You got to memorize these like right now. I don't care what you say. I'm not going, and that's final. Okay, see that? And then this has nothing to do with trust. Okay, that's your line. Okay, you got it? Okay, so take a moment to learn your line. Okay. We're going to block this. Okay, let's have you guys say your lines to each other.
I don't care what you say. I'm not going. That's final.
I knew it. You can't be trusted.
This has nothing to do with trust.
Okay.
Oh, I have to talk to you.
All right. We're already over the top. Okay. All right, I'm all right
Habits are
with
hard
that.
to break.
Okay. Okay. Let's watch it again. Okay, you ready? Go.
I don't care what you say. I'm not going. That's final.
I knew you couldn't be
This
trusted.
has nothing to do with trust.
Yeah.
And okay, pretty flat. So let's fix it. Okay, let's fix it. Okay, so let's okay, Mike, we're gonna have you cross downstage left, saying your line. So here's what you're gonna do. We're gonna start here. Okay, and we're gonna back you up just a tad, 1 step behind. You're gonna stay there, Shia.
Okay.
We're gonna back you up. Okay, so we're not so flat. Okay, we're gonna back you up a little bit. Okay, and you're going to move. I don't care what you say. I'm not going, and that's final. Okay, and we're going to have you cross away. Okay, that's how we're going to try that and see how that looks. And then, Shia, we're going to have you turn to him on your line.
Okay.
Okay, on your line. So you're going to. Let's have you. Yep. Let's have you. So we're going to build a little tension here. So and the way we're going to do it is we're going to. If she has her back to him. We're creating tension already, okay? If she's open to him, it's more, it doesn't have the same feel. But if we put her back to him, we're creating a little bit of tension, okay? And so we're gonna have Jeff move downstage left, saying his line. Then Shia's gonna turn to him, say her line, and then Jeff, you're gonna say your last line, exiting, okay? All right. So let's try that and see how that looks.
I don't care what you say. I'm not going. That's final.
I knew you can't be trusted.
This has nothing to do with trust.
Okay, so we just changed the whole look of that scene just by some blocking, okay? Just by some certain movement. Let's do it flat again, just flat. You guys kind of facing each other. Now do it. Okay.
I don't care what you say. I'm not going. That's final.
I knew you couldn't be trusted.
This has nothing to do with trust.
Okay, now let's play it the other way. Let's have you have your back to him, Shia. Okay, all right, okay. Now you're going to move and say your line downstage left, just like we just did it, okay? All right, go ahead, Jeff.
I don't care what you say. I'm not going. That's final.
I knew you couldn't be trusted.
This has nothing to do with trust.
Okay, and let's try it a little bit more on your character. Okay, all right, Shia, turn. Okay, and your first line is... I don't care what you say. I'm not going. Okay. I don't care what you say. I'm not going. And then you say you lied. Okay. So I'll act with you, Shia. Okay. You ready?
Okay.
All right. You ready? I don't care what you say, I'm not going, right? Okay. I don't care what you say, I'm not going.
I knew you couldn't be trusted.
This has nothing to do with trust. Okay, and then you're leaving. Okay, so you're responding to her. Remember, change your tone, your inflection. Okay, you're responding to her word. Okay, so you're not just like, I don't care what you say, I'm not going. Waiting for my chance, waiting for my chance, my chance. Now's my line. This has nothing to do with trust. See, it's the same. Okay, we don't want to do that. We want to have a little bit of movement in our voice inflection. Okay, all right. So one more time, that same way.
I don't care what you say, I'm not going, that's final.
I knew it. You can't be trusted.
This has nothing to do with trust.
Okay, good. Okay, all right. Now let's do it a different way. Okay. Now let's try Mike moving when he says, "And that's final." Okay. So you're gonna stay there. I don't care what you say. I'm not going, and that's final. That's when you're gonna move. Okay. And then Shia, we're gonna have you stay for your line. You're gonna stay put, but you are gonna. Let's have you, just like you are. Okay. You're
Just
not gonna
stay
turn
here.
to him. Yep. You're not gonna turn to him. You're gonna say your line facing me. Okay.
Okay.
And then you're gonna do the same thing, and you're gonna exit. Okay. All right. You ready? Okay. Go.
I don't care what you say.
You're gonna move on, and that's fine.
that's
I don't
final.
care what you say. I'm not going, and that's final.
final.
Okay? Then you're gonna leave.
I don't care what you say, I'm not going, and that's final.
I knew it. You can't be trusted.
This has nothing.
Yeah. Okay. And let's have you not look at her. Let's have you exit. This has nothing to do with. Now you're not happy. You're irritated. Okay. So that's got to bleed through. You're irritated. Okay. I don't care what you say. I'm not going, and that's final. And then she says her line. This has nothing to do with trust, and you're leaving. Okay. So there's some tension here. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
I don't care what you say, I'm not going, and that's final.
I knew it. You can't be trusted.
This has nothing to do with trust.
Okay, just a simple little blocking, and we've changed the whole look of the scene, right?
Yeah.
Let's do it one more time. Let's have Shia move, okay? Let's see how that's going to look, okay? All right, now let's try. Okay, Mike, we're going to have you move downstage right, okay? You're going to say your line, okay? You're going to say your line, and you're going to move on it. I don't care what you say. I'm not going, and that's final, okay? And you're going to come here, keep your back to her. You're mad, okay? You're going to come to him and say your line, okay?
Okay.
And you're going to come to him. So let's back you up. Let's create a little
Yeah.
bit more space, okay? All right. Let's bring you over here, Shia. A little bit more of that. There we go. Jeff, let's have you a little bit more. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, that's better. Okay. All right, you got that? Okay, so let's try that. Okay, so now you're going to move. Okay, you go ahead.
I don't care what you say, I'm not going, that's final.
I knew it. You can't be trusted.
This has nothing to do with trust.
Okay, now let's have you turn on that line. So I don't want you to ever look at her when you're saying your line. Okay, so Shia, you say that. Okay. All right. So here's what you're going to do. You're going so Shia, let's have you here because we want a nice long movement on your part. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So here's what you're going to do. I don't care what you say. I'm not going. Right. I don't care what you say. I'm not going, and that's final.
I knew it. You can't be trusted.
This has nothing to do with trust. Okay, you turn on that. Okay, got me?
That was good.
Okay, all right.
I don't know. Okay.
You got it.
I don't care what you do, I'm not going, that's final.
I knew it. You can't be trusted.
This has nothing to do with trust.
He was like, I don't know where.
You smile too much.
Yeah,
Okay,
I just.
It's practice. It's
you
practice.
smile
That
too
was
much.
too good. That was, I was.
You smile too much. Okay.
That's
All right.
okay.
Okay. You guys sit down. Okay. You guys sit down.
Okay.
All right. Does anybody?
I can't.
Does anybody know this set of lines? Go to the next one. Right there. Does anybody know those lines? Hi. How are you? Fine. So you ready to go? Yeah. You know that? Oh, that would be awesome. Who's with you? Oh man, boy, if we can get there's a few lines in this, but man, you can really make this little thing, this little 6 lines apiece live. Okay, let's have Shia. I hate to pick on you, but I know your name, so that helps. You be Tammy. Okay, I'm going to give you my script. Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right, I'm going to give you my script, and you got those lines? Perfect, okay. All right. All right, so let's just, okay, so we got a small little scene in our skit, okay? All right, it's these two guys meet each other, okay? Let's have you a little bit closer, okay? A little bit farther up, okay, too close, right there, okay? All right, okay, let's practice our lines. Okay, go ahead. John, you're first.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm fine. You ready to go?
I've decided not to.
What do you mean?
I'm just too tired.
This is the second time this has happened. I don't get it.
What do you mean?
I thought you wanted to go.
I did. I told you I'm tired.
Sure you are.
What's that supposed to mean?
Okay, all right. Let me see my script for a minute because I got some blocking ideas and I'll give it right back to you. Do we have a copier here by any chance?
Yes.
We do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we make a copy real quick? Because I want to hang on to this so I can block it. Oh, there we go. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Now we're going to try it with you sitting down.
Okay.
Okay? Okay.
Oh, yeah. No.
Okay, all right. What's your name?
Hi, Jared.
Jarek?
Jared.
Jared.
Yeah.
Okay, Jared.
This is right. Yeah, you
Yeah. Yeah, give this a shot. Okay. We're going to try with you. You're going to gradually make your way to her. Okay?
Yeah.
All right? All right, so let's keep it pretty simple, okay? You're just going to gradually make, okay? And Shia, when he says on his second time, this is the second time this has happened. See that line? I'm going to have you stand on that, okay?
Okay.
You're going to stand on that, and that's when you're going to say your line. So you're just going to make your way. You're just going to say, hi. Okay, she's going to say her line. How are you? Okay. So you ready to go? I'm just too tired. I've decided not to. What do you mean? I'm just too tired. This is the second time, and then that's when you're going to rise. Okay, notice I didn't get all the way to her. We don't want to do that. Okay, we're just going to make some movement towards her, okay? All right? And then on your line, sure you are, we're going to have you cross away, okay? So you're here, she stands up, and then sure you are, okay? And you're going to cross away down here, okay? And then from where you are, what's that supposed to mean? Okay, your back is to her, then turn. Guess. Okay, got it? Okay, let's try it and see how it looks. Okay?
Hey,
How are you?
I'm doing all right. You ready to go?
I've decided not to.
What do you mean?
I'm just too tired.
This is the second time that this oh, sorry.
Yeah, stay
No, it's
there.
okay.
Stay there.
This is the second time.
Okay. This is the second time this has happened. I don't get it.
What do you mean?
Okay, wait, stay there. Stay
Okay.
there.
Oh.
Stay right there.
Okay.
You're not moving yet.
Oh, yeah.
Here.
Okay. Gotcha. I thought you wanted to go.
I did. I told you I'm tired.
Sure you are.
What's that supposed to mean?
Guess.
Okay, let's have you stay, Shia.
Sorry.
Let's have you stay. Okay, don't move towards them. Okay, try it one more time.
Okay.
Try it one more time. Okay. Okay, and then be moving nice and slow. Okay, don't say hey. So you ready to go? Okay, just move. Make sure you keep that space in between you and her when you finally get to the middle. Okay, go ahead.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm doing fine. You ready to go?
I've decided not to.
What do you mean?
I'm just too tired.
This is the second time this has happened. I don't get it.
What do you mean?
I thought you wanted to go.
I did. I told you I'm too tired.
Sure you are.
What's that supposed to mean?
Guess.
Okay. So we've taken some simple lines, but we've created a nice look now just by simply blocking it differently. Let's move on. Let's block it even more. Okay. Let's try a different version. Okay. All right. For a little bit of interest, let's have Tammy stand. Let's have Shia standing. Okay, as opposed to sitting. Let's put John off stage again. Let's put you off stage. Okay. This time you're going to come in. You're going to be a little bit faster. You're excited to go. Okay. All right. You're pretty excited to go. All right. And so you're going to get to Tammy pretty fast. Okay. Tammy, you're standing. Okay. You're going to cross away down stage left and say, I decided not to go. Okay.
Okay.
John, you're going to stay. Okay.
Okay.
You're going to stay and say your line. What do you mean? You're going to turn. Okay. I'm just too tired. Okay. Then you're going to cross towards her.
Okay.
On your next line. Okay. And then Tammy, you're gonna cross away right. I told you I'm just too tired. I don't want to go. And John, you're gonna say your line from there, okay? And then Tammy, you're going to turn back, say your last line. What's that supposed to mean? Guess, and then you're going to leave. Okay?
Okay.
Follow me on that?
Gotcha,
Okay,
I
we'll
gotcha.
give it a shot. Okay?
Running away from you.
Okay, got it? Let's give it a shot. Okay, come on in, John. Pretty
Ready?
excited.
All right.
Okay?
Hey.
How are you?
Oh man. All right, I'm fun. I'm doing great. Are you ready to go?
I've decided not to.
What do you mean?
I'm just too tired.
This is the second time. I don't get it.
What do you mean?
Okay,
I thought
you cross towards her.
Okay.
Yep.
I thought you wanted to go.
I did. I told you I'm too tired.
Sure you are.
What's that supposed to mean?
Guess.
Okay, and then you're going to exit. So you're coming too close to her. Keep
Too
your
close.
keep your space.
All right, my bad.
Keep your space. Keep your
Okay.
space. Yeah. I hate actors too close unless we need that kind of a scene.
Okay.
I just think it has a much nicer stage picture, and we're creating tension.
Okay.
Okay, we're
Gotcha.
creating tension. Okay, so
So stay where I'm at when I cross.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's try it one more time. Let's have you enter. Okay, you're excited to go. Okay, and then Tammy's not so sure about this night.
Hey.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Hey, are you ready to go?
I've decided not to go.
What do you mean?
I'm just too tired.
This is the second time. I don't get it.
What do you mean?
I thought you wanted to go.
I did. I told you I'm just too tired.
Sure you are.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know. Guess.
Okay, and then you're exiting.
Okay.
You're out of here. Guess. Okay, you're mad on that last line.
Okay.
Guess. Okay, and then you're leaving.
Jared's
Okay?
never been mad at me.
Gotcha.
All right, okay, good. Let's do it one more time. Okay,
Okay.
one more time. Okay, all right? Okay, come on in, John.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm doing great. You ready to go?
I've decided not to.
What do you mean?
I'm just too tired.
I thought you wanted to go.
You skipped the line.
Oh.
It's okay. I'm
What
just too tired.
This is the second time. I don't get it.
What do you mean?
I thought you wanted to go.
I did. I told you I'm just too tired.
Sure you are.
What's that supposed to mean?
Guess.
Okay, good, good. So we're creating different looks just by simple blocking. Let's do one more,
Okay.
Only this time we're going to play it a little bit differently, okay? Let's assume that there's some real tension going on between these two characters, okay? And Tammy is actually a little fearful of John, okay? So maybe there's been an argument or something like that. But anyway, there's a good deal of fear going on inside of her, okay? And so we're going to play against that now, okay? She doesn't want to let out that she's got this fear. And so when she has her line, how are you, we're going to have you cross towards him, okay? And instead of away. So what we're going to do is we're going to have, John, we're going to have you enter. Because we're going to play against this, okay? So we're going to have you enter. And we're going to have you enter. And now we're going to change your approach. It's no more excitement. It's just like, all right, so you ready to go? Okay, but you're going to come down here, okay? So when you enter, it's like, hi. Okay, your first line is, okay, enter, hi.
How are you?
Good, so you ready to go? And then you move towards him on that line. Okay?
On this, I've decided not to?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've decided not to, okay?
I've decided not to.
Huh. And so now this is a little point of tension now, okay? But you have this, we're going to play against that fear that's inside of you of this situation, okay? And,
Okay.
and the way we're going to do it is we're going to have you move towards him. So you're going to come in. Hi. Hi. So you ready to go? And then she's going to come towards you. I've decided not to. What do you mean? Okay. All right. So
Okay.
that. All right. Okay. Hold on. We're going to finish. Put your phone on silent. Okay. And then what we're going to do is, John, you're going to turn on your line. What do you mean? Okay. And then what we're going to have you. Okay. So fine. Are you ready to go? Tammy, you're going to say your line. I've decided not to go. Okay. Coming towards him, John. You're going to turn on your line. What do you mean? Okay.
I'm
So.
just too tired.
Let's have just you two together on stage left, okay, down stage left, okay. And John, what you're going to do is this is the second time on that line. What you're going to do is you're going to take a step back, just kind of look her up and down. It's like, what do you mean? Okay, you stay there, And you just take a step back and you're going to look her up and down. It's like, what do you mean? This is the second time this has happened. I don't get it. Okay, Tammy, you're gonna stay there and say your line. What do you mean? Okay, then John, you're gonna step into her. I thought you wanted to go. Okay, you're gonna step into her. Okay, all right. I thought you wanted to go. Tammy, here's where we're gonna express some fear. Okay, and you're gonna cross away. Okay, and you're gonna go downstage right. I did. I told you. I'm too tired. You're not gonna let her off the hook, and you're gonna cross to her.
Okay.
Sure you are. And then with your back, and then you keep your back. Well, what's that supposed to mean? Okay, and then like almost in her ear, guess, and then you exit. Okay, got it. Okay, got it. All right, let's give it a shot.
I've never been scared of Jared. He's never been mad at me.
Okay, let's give it a shot. Okay, you ready? All right, let's go.
Hey,
How are you?
doing fine. You ready to go?
I've decided not to.
Okay, wait. Okay,
Did I go too early?
yep, you went
Okay.
too early. Okay, let's move you all the way down, all the way down stage.
So,
Okay,
okay.
all right.
Sorry.
And then you're gonna move towards him on your line. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
A second
All
one.
right, go ahead.
Hey,
How are you?
doing fine. You ready to go?
I've decided not to.
What do you mean?
I'm just too tired. Is that when I go over there?
No.
No, okay. I'm
Take
just
a
too
step back.
tired.
Step back, right?
Yeah. Now I remember.
This is the second time. I don't get it.
What do you mean?
I thought you wanted to go.
I did. I told you I'm too tired.
Sure you are.
What's that supposed to mean?
Guess.
Boy, huh? Just by simple blocking. What did we do? We changed the whole feel of the thing, didn't we? Just by simple blocking, man. So it just shows you what you can do with the directing options that you have, So don't be afraid to explore some options and some possibilities in your blocking. You can make a huge difference in one simple 6-line scene, right? All right, good. Thanks, you guys. Okay. We're gonna jump like crazy because I want to jump all the way down to 63, you guys, okay? I'm gonna go down to, this is last. I want to talk a little bit about the big productions. These are great. These are a lot of fun. The big production is, the play, the musical, even a children's play. I wouldn't say a haunted house. That's not really a big production. That's because it's short. You're keeping them short. The big production time frame is important, and remember, length is determined by boredom. Okay, and so we're going to talk about a couple of things. Okay, so your big production is can I tell you a story? That's basically what you're doing. Can I tell you a story to your audience? Let me tell you a story, okay? And so you want to bring them into your story. You've got this idea. You wrote this story. I want to bring you in there. Can I tell you a story? Okay? I'm going to tell you a story from the stage, okay? And so you want the audience to be like, I can't wait, man. Let's have it, man. Let's see what you got, okay? And in Las Vegas, you guys have the great advantage that theater attracts. Man, people, that's what this city is, It's all about entertainment, Prescott's not that way. Prescott, they wear a lot of cowboy hats, and there's a lot of people from San Diego and from California that are left-wing liberals that are irritating, is what they are, until they get saved. Okay? Okay, so I want to talk about, the plot. Remember, I mentioned this, the plot structure is what keeps your script compelling, okay? And it keeps the audience entertained. So your plot structure is important. The way that you're gonna structure your scenes. When I write, a lot of times I have two things in mind when I write. I have the beginning and the end. And I'm gonna fill in the middle. But I know what my beginning is. and I know what I want to end with, okay? And now I'm gonna write my storyline in between that, okay? So you want to have scenes, and what I'll do is a lot of times when I'm writing, when I'll write my scenes, I'll write a bunch of scenes. Okay, I want to do this, and then I want to bring it to this, and then I want to do this. I want to say this. I want to do this, and then I'll figure out. I have an allotment of 5 minutes at the most in this scene, 3 minutes for this scene, 3 minutes for this scene, 2 minutes, and okay, I've got 45 minutes. I got 50 minutes. You know that's how you want to stay in that block, man. If you go a little bit longer than that, you got to be good. You know, you got to make sure that you're entertaining. Okay. Somebody might say what happens in the story is a character, okay, as a plot. Somebody might think what happens in the story is a character discovers who or what he really is, but that's not the plot. That's the theme. It leaves out the critical ordering of the events. It would be more like a character loses his job, he gets divorced, he leaves town, he starts a new life. So you're building a story, okay? You're building a story, and you want to build a story. You don't want to just have random events. You want to build a story that's intriguing. Okay, these are the elements of plot. It's those events that lead us to think about how the character got to where he is. That's what keeps us interested. Okay, the elements of the plot. See this triangle right here? This is the triangle. One more. Again. There we go. That's the triangle that Shakespeare came up with. A beginning, a middle, and an end. Okay, exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, denouement. That's just a French word for ending, the ending. Okay, remember what I said. I can write about anything because I'm just going to follow this principle. I'm just going to follow everything I write. I follow that. Everything. I just follow that simple pattern. It's a principle. I have a brother-in-law who's in the music industry. His name is Kiko, and he's married to my sister, and he's a great guy. I love him. He got saved, gave his life to Jesus, and is a real Christian. But this dude, he's a pro. And when I say pro, he uses the Grammy Awards that he's won as doorstops. And he's won 3 of them. He's won Producer of the Year. He's won 3 Grammy Awards. He is an accomplished producer. He signed with, one of his latest signings was with, I think, Sony BMG. And his signing bonus was, I think, $850,000 just to sign with those guys. He's in his game. He knows what he's doing. And my sister was telling me a story. She went out to her mailbox and said, "Oh, I got a royalty check from songs that he has written, that he's won awards." It was a royalty check. She goes, "I had no idea I was getting this. It was worth $120,000. So he's really good at what he does. And so we were talking one day, and he said, "Louie, we were talking about songs, because at that time I was in a band and we were writing songs." And he said, "Louie, industry standard, you get to the chorus in 45 seconds. I said, "Really?" He goes, "Industry standard." And so he is following a principle. This is how we write. We write this way. We write a beginning, we write the verse, we get to the chorus. 45 seconds, man, we're into the chorus. Okay? This will blow your mind. He was, I don't know if you ever heard of Luis Miguel, Mexican singer. Anybody ever heard of him? Luis Miguel. He was his guitar player. Yeah, and his producer. And he wrote Suave, which was one of his biggest songs. And so he would play in front of 100,000 people plus. I mean, they were big, right? And so we're talking about the music and how good the background singer sounded. He goes, "Louie, everything is controlled." I said, "Really?" He goes, "I send a click track to the drummer, so everything is controlled. The songs are always the same. The background singers are actors. The background singers are already in the mix. They're not even singing live. They're already in the mix. And so that's how the pros perform. We go and we watch like, these guys are amazing. They sound so good. They're amazing. It's because they're pros. And that's how they set it up. He's singing live. His background singers are not. They're actors, man. They're singing along, but it's not their voices, man. And that's how they perform. So every time is excellent. There's no room for a bad performance. He's following principles. That's what we do. We follow principles. Exposition, that's going to start your storyline. Okay? The exposition is you're going to lay the groundwork on who is what and where. You're going to lay the groundwork. Okay? That's what we did in Star Trek. Exposition is the very first scene when we're going to tell you who is what. The emotions, the will, the conscience, and the captain and the ship. It's his life. We're gonna lay the groundwork. The rising action. This is when we begin the conflict. Okay, and I'm telling you, conflict is what gives your production a reason to live. No conflict, you have a flat performance. You have to have conflict. Okay, so you build in that rising action. Okay, and the way we did it was the crew began to team up against the captain, okay? And then they had their arguments, like, what are you talking about? And they had their arguments, okay? We build that tension in. The climax is when somebody is going to win. Light or darkness, or it seems like one or the other has won. That's the climax moment, okay? And you build to that point, and then the falling action begins the resolution, okay? And then the denouement, or the ending, is when we're going to tie up all the loose endings. And I didn't used to do that. And I do it now, and I really, really enjoy doing it. In other words, I leave loose ends in the storyline that are unanswered, and I tie them up at the very end. You know, like in the last play, Star Trek, you know, Kirk is telling Spock, you know, he attacked us and you knew that. Negative. What do you mean? You were the one. He said, no. And the attack began. Dr. McCoy motioned to the lieutenant to call for a distress signal, call out for help. And he looks at me and says, you did? And I did earlier, but you don't notice that. But I did earlier, and that's just simply, we are setting up what's going to happen at the very end. We're setting up that scene for the very end. And so you did? Yes, Captain. And then he's explaining to him that it wasn't cause it was attacking. It was the intruder that was attacking. And so they're starting to basically unfold the whole storyline and tie up all the loose ends, you know. And so now you have a happy ending. And so now we're going to move to the next one, and this is Freytag's pyramid. He developed a little bit more. That one right there. Gustav Freytag. He was a guy in the 19th century. He was a German playwright. And he developed this a little bit more to exposition, rising action, which he called the initial incident, to the climax, which is the suspenseful part, to the falling action, to the denouement, or the tying up of the loose ends. These are great. Function this way. Use these, man. They'll really, really, really help you. Because what it'll do is it'll keep you on track. And it'll help you write, because you'll know what to write and what to aim for. It's like, okay, I've got to do my introduction. Okay, I've got to set the groundwork. I've got to let the audience know who is who and what and where they are. You know, but the audience doesn't. So you got to let them know. And then I'm going to build some tension in. Okay, then we're going to get to a climax, and we're going to have some falling action. If you do that, you can write about anything. It'll help you write about, it doesn't matter. You'll be able to write about anything because you're just going to use the principles. Okay? Freytag's pyramid had 7 steps to it. Exposition, inciting incident, rising action, climax, falling action, resolution, and conclusion. Okay? Now, the exposition is to set the scene. Inciting incident is a character reacts to something that causes a chain reaction of events. Okay, do you have that one? 71, do you have that one? You're going to probably, yeah, right there. Yeah. That's it right there. Rising action is a complication. It becomes more complex. The climax, the story reaches the great tension where darkness or light, one of them appears to win, and which is what we did when we had basically the intruder take over the bridge, and it seemed like he won. It seemed like it was over, and Kirk was apologizing. I'm sorry. And it seemed like that the climax situation, that it was over, that he had won. But we're going to change that in the falling action. The story is going to shift, okay, in the falling action. And the resolution is the character solves the conflict, and the ending where we tie up the loose endings, okay? Okay, and I'm going to give you 4 principles, and we're done. And these are great. These 4 principles. Watch these closely, and these are going to greatly help you. Dramatic tension. Okay, dramatic tension is really, really important. That's what's going to give the story life. One of the things you have to do is always push the audience attention forward. Push their attention forward. Don't give them all the answers. Push their attention forward. We do that early in the Star Trek scene, where I tell Kirk, I say, what you have inside of you is a God-shaped hole. And by the end of this journey, you're going to understand that. I'm pushing the audience attention forward. So, like, okay. By the end, he's going to understand this. And now, one of the things that I like to do is bring the gospel in early so the gospel fits. Don't make it a round peg in a square hole, man. Don't bring the gospel in at the end. Just the ending, okay? I got a friend of mine who did a play, a full play, 45-minute production with no gospel. None. I said, what was the point? He said, oh, it's an allegory. I said, really? He said, yeah, the preacher comes out at the end and just says, this is the prodigal son story. So maybe that's what you are tonight. You're a prodigal son. It's like, oh, you're missing the point, man. Why are you on? That would be like Pastor Lamb getting up there and preaching an entire sermon with nothing but stories and illustrations and nothing to do with the gospel. You would go, what is the point? Why? Don't be afraid of the gospel, man. Use the gospel is powerful. Use the gospel, okay? And so for some reason he thought, that would be a great idea, and then they actually took a bow at the end. They all came out and took a bow. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's the glory goes to God. Not to us, man. The glory goes to God. And so, if you want to take a bow, you'll have to join the performing arts. But we don't do that, man. That's not a good idea. Okay, telegraphing. Go to the next one. Telegraphing. Okay. This is a tool that we can use. Okay. This is a tool about creating future appointments. Pretty simple. The protagonist is going to meet his wife. He's going to meet his wife. Establishes he's married. Gives us a specific plot expectation. And not usually high stakes, but it does exist in our mind. It's called telegraphing. Okay. Okay. A dangling cause. This is an unanswered question. By the end of the journey, you're going to understand that, is what Bones said to Captain Kirk. It's an issued warning. It's a dangling cause. We're just going to leave it out there. Okay, we're not going to resolve it. We're just going to leave it out there. And that's a powerful tool that you can use because it sets up an expectation in the audience. Okay? And then the last one, or one of the last ones, is dramatic irony. This one is cool. This is a great thing where you let the audience know something that the actors don't know. I did a play called The Giambonis. It was a mafia play, Italian play, which was one of my favorite plays because my dad was hooked to the mob. My dad's brother was part of one of the biggest heists in New York City ever. True story. And so I kind of favor that, that lifestyle. Not that I like it, but it's intriguing to me. And but anyway, so I did it. One of the scenes I did was that the storyline was about a young daughter who loved that lifestyle and wanted to push her family into it. And her family really didn't. They're all Italians. They really weren't into it. They weren't in it, and she wanted it, and so she was pushing them forward. So she had a plan. She had a plan that she was going to write a note about one family that was the leader of the mob in that city and send it to their family saying, we're going to have a showdown. And she wrote the letter, but she made it seem like they wrote the letter and sent it to her. And so this freaks the family out. They get this letter from a FedEx, and they're reading the letter. By the end of the week, somebody won't be standing. So it throws them into a panic. They're like, what in the world? And this is all being done by the daughter. Okay, and nobody knows that. Nobody knows that. Except for there's one character, her uncle Vinny. He knows. He's the one who's a little bit more leaning towards the mafia side. And so what I did was she is setting this up. Now the audience knows because earlier, in an earlier scene, she's writing the letter. She hands it to her friend who had come over to visit, and she says, what do you think? And she reads it. She goes, you're going to send this to him? Yeah. Don't you think it'll work? I think you're crazy. And she goes, no, trust me, it'll work. And so she's got the letter in her hand, and then her mom comes in the room, and her friend's got the letter, and she's hiding it behind her back. So it's obvious to the audience that she's got something that she doesn't want them to know. And then she's backing up, and the mom is like, are you leaving? And she goes, yeah. She's following her around. Yeah, I'm leaving. I'll see you. And so her job was to go deliver that letter. Go get it to FedEx so it can get to the family. So now the audience knows. Okay, dramatic irony. The audience knows something that the actors don't know. Okay? Then a little bit later on, the letter comes in the mail, and I've got her positioned downstage left where she's just watching the reaction of the family. And I've got her reacting surprised, but yet not, because she wrote the letter and she knows. And they're all reacting. It's like, what's going on? What's good? You know, and so now they feel like they're in trouble. That there's a war is about to start between two Italian families. And so the scene ends up leaving. You know, he's got the letter, and the father's like, hold on, we're going to figure this out. And I don't remember how, but somehow he drops the letter. And so it's now on the ground, and he's talking. And so all the characters end up leaving stage, but just her. She's the only one left on stage. And so they've all left, and she sees the letter, and she goes over. She picks up the letter and just kind of smiles, folds it up, and walks off stage. Pretty simple, right? However, right at that moment, I had her Uncle Vinny walk out. And he sees her picking it up and leaving, and she never sees him. And he just kind of thinks. And he leaves. So now, what we have is the audience knows she wrote the letter. But now the audience knows he knows she wrote the letter, but she doesn't know that he knows. You see what we're doing? We're creating some tension here and some dramatic irony. And so that's a really powerful tool that you can use. And the last one, which is the big one, which is dramatic tension. This is the guiding principle, man. This is what creates your story. And it's the key to any plot structure. You have an objective, an obstacle, and a resolution. And I'll tell you, it's boring for people to watch a play with no tension, no stakes. Now, anybody got any questions or any input, anything that they're thinking about or comes to mind, or any questions or anything like that? Don't be afraid to raise your hand so we can clear things up. Okay. Let me just go to conclusion. Let's go in our conclusion, okay? One more. There's a world of theater, okay, out there that's ready to be used for the kingdom. Okay, it's a tool to be used to bring people into a place where they see themselves, remember? They realize their position before God, and it's an art, okay? And only the diligent, remember early on the proverb, the hand of the diligent shall rule, remember that? Only the diligent develop an ability to use it well for sound entertainment, okay? Profound conviction to help people come to Christ for salvation. Now, I know that I dumped a lot on you and probably crammed for Shaya a whole semester in just a couple hours, you know.
We have access to PowerPoint.
Yeah, you can have it. That PowerPoint, let them have it, okay? Let them have it. And who are the directors here? Who are the team leaders here, okay? I thought there was only one. So it's my bad. But here, you can have my... and you have all the notes on everything. Inside that, there's notes to drama exercises, man. There's all kinds of stuff in there that will help. And everything that I've gone over is in there, and more, and more. But I'll tell you, let me leave you with this, man. There's so much possibility. There's just so much possibility in theater in productions, in musicals, in plays, man. Just use the principles, man. Use the principles, you know. When you start to figure those out, it's like, oh, that's going to help me. I get it. So you're not just writing and let's say, okay, let's have this scene lead to this scene, and then here's our ending. No, follow the principle, man. You got your exposition, you got some rising action, you got a climax, you got some falling action. Just follow the principles, man. They'll help you write every scene. They'll help the thing stay concise. And your dramas, your skits, stick to the 5-minute rule, man. Stick to the 5-minute rule. It'll help you, man. Everything will be concise, man. You'll trim the fat. It'll force you to trim the fat. Block. Look what we did with block. Simple movement, man. You know, simple movement. We changed the whole scene, man. So don't forget about that. Create the space, man. Create the space. And use the triangles, man. Use the triangles. Remember when we had all the extra characters, we were using the triangles. Everywhere was a triangle. Use the triangles, man. They're really, really effective, and they present a nice stage picture, you know. And so the bottom line is you can be great, man. You can be very good. You can be really good, man. You just have to try. You have to give yourself. Yeah, and you can be really good. Yeah. Any other questions, you guys? Basically done. So here's what I want to do. Before we leave, I want to pray. And I specifically want to pray. I want to pray for the drama leaders. So I want you guys to come up, the drama leaders. Let's pray for you guys. We're going to believe God. Sure. Includes it all, man. Are you kidding me? Yeah. All right, excellent. All right, you guys, let's pray together. We're going to believe God. Let's pray that God gives these guys great grace and gives you guys great grace. You guys are the team, man. A leader has nothing without his team. He's got to have his team, okay? How old are you? 17. Yeah. Man, if I was only in this church, there's so much. Well, you know what we have? We have a white church. Can't do anything with a bunch of white people, man. You know, what I wouldn't give to have some color. Glory to God, man. That'd be great, man. I'd love to be in this church, man. It'd be a blast. Are you kidding me? There's so much potential. Glory to God. Okay, let's pray. Do you lead? Mm-hmm. Oh, you are? Oh, that's awesome. What's your name? Who's your?
What we call me Nene.
Nene. Yeah. Who's the pastor?
Josh Lobato.
Josh Lobato is up here.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Anybody here from Justin has a church over here too, or no? Justin Men's and Nurse? Yeah.
Yeah,
He's on the east side. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Come on, sister. Come on. All right. Okay, you guys. This is how I pray, man. I hold hands. Okay. That's all. I do it and all. All right, you guys. Let's stand. Let's stand. Let's pray. Let's believe God. Okay. Let's pray. God, we ask you right now, Father, for your blessing. We pray, God, for your inspiration. I pray, God, creativity in the Holy Ghost, an anointed inspiration and imagination in God, that you'll give direction, Lord. Open their minds and their hearts to the great world of theater that you have given us for your kingdom. I'm praying, God, direct their steps, direct their imagination, Lord, and give them great camaraderie, Lord, great unity in their teams. Let the blessing of the Lord guide them, rule them, Lord, help them, and direct them. And I'm asking you, Father, for your favor tonight, God, and ongoing in Jesus' name. Amen. 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 Praise God. God bless you guys, man. God bless you guys, man. Praise God. Bro, glory to God.